Oh my god, hi everyone. Jessica wasn't here, so I just picked up her phone to do the intro because this needs an intro. Every episode needs an intro. So whatever. I just feel it's really important to have a really interesting line in the beginning of the podcast and get people really into it. You know what I'm saying? It's really important to get people into the podcast and listening and want to hear it. It's just been really hard for me lately because I haven't been able to go to the mall. I love going shopping and I haven't been able to do that. I've had to stay home and just be on my phone 24 hours a day and I can't go get my hair done. I can't do anything. I just want to be have a drink. I just want to go do things and no one is out. I don't know why people have to stay home. I know there's a virus, but I don't really understand because I'm not gonna get it. I'm so healthy. I have a personal trainer. I only eat kale. I light candles. I do so many things. It's really hard to not be going on dates. I had so many guys interested in me, and now I can't go on. So listen to Jessica's podcast. Thank you so much for being a member. Some of you are really old, so you don't even know what a Patreon is, but go on her Patreon. It's only $5 a month. You know what I'm saying? It's just so not a big deal. You can go on Cameo and Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Follow her everywhere. Just don't follow her home because that's weird. Okay, so thank you so much for listening to Relatively Sane, and here is your guest.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Relatively Sane. I am here with, I adore this man, Dan St. Germain.
Thank you for having me on, Miss Einstein.
I know. It's Eisenstein. Steen. This is so funny. So if people are either listening to this or watching it, some people will listen and watch it if they're stalkers. But on the screen, it said Vivian Eisenstein, whatever. It's all the same fucking thing. And that's because I've been doing Zoom bombs. Vivian comes in and does them sometimes.
How does a Zoom bomb work? Because I've heard of these Zoom bombs, but I haven't been privy to one yet.
Well, Vivian likes to go in while people are having a party or doing a work event, and sometimes she just shows up and doesn't know where she is, and she just
So you could just get into somebody's random party?
Well, people invite her. Someone invites her, but no one else knows that she was invited. So it's very confusing to everyone else who doesn't know.
Funny, dude. That's maybe that's a show. That's a new Sacha Baron Cohen show.
Yeah, that was the thought. We'll see if someone wants to pick it up. I hope so.
Well, we can't just have a fun idea anymore. Every time we have a fun idea, we'd be like, yeah, maybe this will help pay my rent.
Right. We're all desperate. Where are you?
I'm in Williamstown, Massachusetts. We were supposed to go to Hawaii on March 13th. Oh. Obviously, that didn't happen.
Right.
For our honeymoon.
Oh.
So we're like, we'll just go a couple days near where we married. And, we went a couple days, and then all of a sudden the quarantine happened. And we were like, I guess we'll just get a place here for a little bit. And we have it. It's been nice, but now we're going to have to go. And,
Where are you going to go to?
I guess we're either going to go to my dad lives around here, so we may go there for a week. I haven't figured it out whether or not we're going to move back to New York. I mean, eventually we want to move to LA, but I was hoping that we would just be able to give our apartment up.
Right.
If anybody's looking to rent an apartment, that we would just be able to kind of transfer the lease over.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like that's not on the table, but I don't know if I want to be back in the city right now.
I know.
Either.
I mean, people.
Where are you? You're in Long Island?
I'm on Long Island, and what I think, people.
Long Island's bad too now, right?
Yes, but I'm not leaving my house. I did to go to Jersey to be with family, but it's hard because I don't think a lot of people around the country understand how bad it is in New York. We all know. I don't know about you. I know a lot of people that have suffered from this.
I definitely know people who've suffered from it.
Yeah, it's and I know a couple people who are not okay, who are still on ventilators. It's crazy.
Jesus. I'm still wondering, like in January, I got off of, I was taking Xanax for over almost 2 years, a year and a half. And I gotten off and I detoxed. So it was like crazy. But all the symptoms from that detox, and I went to the hospital like 3 times because of the detox, but all the symptoms kind of mirror the COVID symptoms. So I'm not sure if I don't think I had it because we went in there and we got our lungs checked, but then I hear people then don't show some symptoms, but I feel like my lungs would have shown something.
Well, I feel like I was sick for a long time and couldn't get any better. And I've never been that sick for so long. And that was months ago. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was weird. I knew something was, I'm like, I never get like this and I could not get better.
This was incredibly painful. Like I couldn't, I felt like I was dying. So.
I remember you telling me that. Did you just start taking?
It's probably benzos. Everyone I know who's withdrawn from benzos has gone through that.
Did you just start taking like one once in a while just to feel better from anxiety? Is that how that started?
And then it ended up going up.
Yeah. How many did you end up taking a day?
God, it was like 4 to 6 a day I was taking. So
yeah. See, this is what, because people, it's so hard because so many people are home. And I've been thinking about that a lot. Like people must be really drinking a lot and taking a lot of drugs and just to deal with what's going on. And
I'm not drinking, but I think about it.
I know.
Speaking of Zoom bombing, well, that's been happening apparently at AA meetings a lot. I know I'm not supposed to. Well, I'm not going to tell anybody share, but apparently people have been like bombing AA meetings, and it's been like a woman eating dookie. It's like been
what?
Real stuff.
Are you? I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh, but first of all, I love that it's a woman eating dookie. What? I mean, she must be really resentful at AA. Maybe her father couldn't get sober or something.
I made a joke that I was like, but you know what? She didn't drink today. She ate all that dookie, but she didn't wash it down with a nice cold fucking beverage.
Well, what I mean, when I do it, it's not mean or hostile, and she's very nice and lovable, and people love it. If anyone didn't, I would never put it up, or I would get right off. But it's a small group, and it's usually like a little party or something. But yeah, that's a really good idea. I'm gonna start doing. Can you imagine if I went in to stop drinking, get it together?
What are you guys crying about? Everyone has it hard.
I drink wine every night, and I'm okay. You pussies, stupid idiots.
Or just like, I think it would be kind of fun too to be like a cam model, either like. And did not know, like either you're a dude or you're a girl, you just enter and start masturbating. You're like, oh fuck, I'm sorry. I was supposed to go.
You're like, I'm just waiting for the basket.
I was supposed to go chatterbait. I don't know how I got into Gamblers Anonymous, but
that's a funny thing to do. A meeting where everyone is in the wrong place and they're confused.
Oh my God, I can't. I did a comedy show on Tuesday night. Really, I've done the show in New York, and it's really fun in New York, and they're really funny people who put it on. They're really good people. But I think that I'm not. If this is what comedy is, bye.
Me too.
I think I'm done. I don't need to do a Zoom show ever again. Like, I think that if this is the next evolution, like, I'm just not going to be part of. I'm going to be a silent film star.
Yeah. What are you going to do if you can't do? I've thought about that.
I don't know. I'll probably just kill other families and eat their food.
I'm like, there's nothing I could do if I don't do. I don't know what to do. I can't. I got to tell you, I keep trying to talk people out of it. They're like, it'll be fun and we can pay you $25. I'm like, you don't understand. I'm not going to be okay if I start doing that. It's not going to be okay.
You hear no laughs. It's just you.
Where did you stand?
I just did this.
Oh my God, you just sat in bed?
It's weird. Apparently, I talked to a buddy of mine, and he did one of them, and he saw somebody had set up like a mic stand in front of a wall, and it was really awkward. It was very like King of Comedy, Rupert Blumpkin or whatever the fuck his name is.
Well, first of all, to look at everyone just staring at you on a screen is the most frightening.
Yeah.
It's much harder than standing, just for anyone who's listening, it's much harder than standing in front of 1,000 people. It to have even
Way
3
harder.
people.
Way harder, because at least you know you're not going crazy. Like, if you hear yourself bombing, you're like, oh, no one's laughing because I suck. Rather than like, no one's laughing because there is a biblical fucking plague outside. And I'm stuck with my thoughts.
I would think it was the way I looked and focus on that the whole time because it's on video, it's so up close. I'd be like, do I have crumbs in my hair? Or I just...
Can you imagine now, like I was listening to Ian Finance on your show talking about how he's going to headline. Can you imagine? I was talking about this yesterday. Imagine opening a restaurant at the top of March.
No.
There's people who've done that.
Yeah, I know.
We put their whole life savings into that little restaurant, and that's it.
It made me think of the Stan Comedy Club and different places that have put so much energy.
All those guys survive.
Me too. I really do. It's I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. When do you?
Everybody who owns their building is totally fine.
Yes.
But people who don't are, I imagine it's got to be it's got to be taxing, emotionally taxing.
When do you think we'll perform again?
I don't know. If I knew, that was the saddest question.
Let me ask you something less depressing. When do you think you'll die?
Hopefully before then, before we have to start performing again.
No, I think maybe in the fall. That's what I think. After the
everyone's
summer.
saying September, but I think we're all just saying it. I think we're like, yeah, September.
Yeah, you're right.
Sure, that sounds good.
So you grew up right around where you are?
No, I didn't. My dad moved here, and then we found a place to get married around here. And now my dad doesn't even live near here. Like, we live miles away from my dad right now. So I don't even know how I ended up here, really.
It's really fascinating to me because you're in like this. Do you have a room or an apartment? What do you have there?
I have a room, an upstairs room. My mother-in-law and my wife are downstairs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I have my own area like Osama bin Laden, and they just go downstairs and they guard me. I sit up here with my Quran and my AK-47.
Do you have hummus or any kind of food?
I do have some hummus. I have only the fattest, healthiest foods.
Have you been doing anything for self-care? Because I haven't. I was just curious.
I've worked out a couple times. I've gone to a couple Zoom meetings. Is that self-care?
Yes.
I haven't been meditating at all. I feel like this entire experience is meditation.
Yeah. How do you even, my mom's like, you need to meditate. I'm like, every time I start thinking it's of horrible things. It's not positive and joyous.
No.
It's not easy. So where did you grow up?
I grew up in North Jersey and then Westchester, New York. So I went from, in 9th grade, 8th grade, I was in Westchester. And before that, I was in Rutherford, New Jersey. Oh,
that's a nice area. Wait a second.
Yeah.
Must have been really hard to move at that age.
Yeah, it was hard. I was pretty picked on where I was from, so like moving wasn't that big of a deal. But it's always a little jarring for sure.
And you grew up with how many siblings?
Just a sister. Saw her last night. She's we got there and we went to my dad's place to go get a bite. It's just like, we're originally we have it set up so we can eat outside and he can eat inside. Still say hi and something to do on a Friday or a Sunday or something. And he just goes, "No, come in." And we walked in, and I'm like, "You've been social distancing, right?" He goes, "Yeah, except for these 2 times." And I'm like, I just feel like every time I'm like, my dad has diabetes. Is he okay?
I know it's very scary. It really is. It's not easy. it's we're all worrying about our families, and it's hard to not even talk about it because every single person's going through. Everyone that's listening to this is going through it, and it's just really hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to be. For me, it's very hard to be present. I just keep going into the future, and
Yeah, that's what I mean when you like say, "Oh, it must have been hard at childhood." I'm like, "Well, I was better than this."
yeah, and no matter what you went through, it was better than this.
Yeah.
Were you a happy kid?
No, I don't think so. Were you you weren't a happy kid?
No, not at all.
No.
I even when things were okay, I wasn't happy.
I have not met many happy kids.
Well, they're not comedians, that's for
No,
sure.
they're not comedians, that's for sure.
What did you want to do besides before you became a clown?
I wanted to be a herpetologist in 3rd grade.
What's that?
It's like studies reptiles and amphibians.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, and I mean, it wasn't really going to get me any chicks for sure. So I think I transitioned out of that, and I wasn't like, I don't know. After that, I think I wanted to like win an Academy Award. You have all these like big fucking feelings. There's nothing to do with what you actually want to do. It's just to do with the feelings that are inside you.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've been doing this now for about 13 and a half years, I guess. Sophomore year of comedy. You're not like the old respected one, and you're not the new person. You're just kind of fucking there.
Well, you're pretty respected. I mean, you've written it. How do you say that? You've wrote?
Written.
Jesus, what is wrong with me?
You wrote for, or you've written for.
See, I knew you would correct me because you're a writer. I'm joking.
I'm a douchebag.
So you're not a douchebag to me, but I could see you being I could see people not liking you. I could see people not like. I'm becoming a total bitch. I'm just telling you right now.
I tell you, Dave. I was on David Feldman's podcast. It was like last year from and he like waited a long time. He goes, you're kind of a. And like when someone's taken a long time, you expect and just go slob. Yeah. You're kind of a slob. And the whole time I was like expecting him to say like really complicated or. Really...
Yeah, you're hard to read, but he's like, you're disgusting. You're disgusting. A fucking
you
pig.
Miss your mouth every time you eat.
So you became. How old were you when you became a clown? You're a traveling clown.
I guess. I mean, I did it once in high school. Well, actually, I did it like twice in high school, and then like once in college. And I did all like the plays and stuff, and did like some sketch stuff. But I didn't really start doing it till I was like, 22. How about you? How old were you again? You were like.
I was 29 when I started, and I was really lost. I had no idea. I mean, I went to school to be a social worker, but I really didn't want to do that, and I was so lost.
You like really bounced from one depressing job to the next.
Well, I say it's the same. Being a therapist is the same thing, except you don't talk. You listen. It's worse. At least we get to talk. Do you miss being on stage?
Be a therapist, and I'm like, I can't let anyone get a word in edgewise on a podcast.
That's hysterical.
What am I going to tell some 12-year-old girl to stop cutting?
Oh my God, no. At this point, I'd be like, get over it, bitch. No, I'm joking. I just like, if anyone says I lost my cat. Really? I don't have work until December. So get another cat.
Oh, man. And now, because George is opening up, you're going to see little rooms open up, and the amount of people that are all going to try to get through that door is going to be insane. Think about how many comics, if just 3 states open up for comedy clubs, think about how many, Dave Chappelle is going to be begging to play the living.
Chris Rock is going to be trying to do the rectal hut on a Tuesday night. Wait a second. I have to be honest. I would not travel to Georgia to do stand-up right now. I would not travel to do stand-up. I'd be too nervous, even if it's open.
How much?
100. If I'm offered $100, I'll fucking be there in a minute.
No. You kidding me? If it was 10K, I'd be like,
10,000 I would, but that's not going to happen. But yes, I would do it for 10,000. I'd have to. I'd wear a hazmat suit.
Yeah, just bombing in Georgia.
Oh yeah, I think I'd wear. I could be. You know, it'd be a really good hook if I were a Jewish. I'm a Jewish comic, and I could wear a full burqa, even with the mouth like a net or something. Like, everything's closed except for my eyes, and I can wear goggles. And that'll be my new thing.
I was thinking all those people in France have got to be pissed off about the whole hijab thing, where they're like, "Yeah, you didn't let us wear this, and now we all have to wear one."
Do they have to wear that there?
No, I'm just saying, like, because they have to cover their faces, and there's a thing where I think France didn't want them to wear their hijabs.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and so, but now we're all wearing fucking hijabs.
We're not wearing a job.
We're a generation hijab.
Okay, so would you travel for stand-up if you were asked to do a gig?
Yeah,
I'm not
money.
judging.
For money.
Yeah, a lot of people
I would
would.
just quarantine myself afterwards, 100%. I respect people who wouldn't, for sure.
Oh, that's
but,
just, yeah.
Look, I don't like. I do have asthma, but I'm not vaping tobacco anymore. So, yeah, I think I would take the risk.
Yeah. I mean, they say that people are vaping are very susceptible.
They do, yeah.
It's
really just
so
smokers
crazy.
in general.
Yeah.
I think maybe even drinkers. I think if you have edible marijuana, you're fine. I'm pretty sure that's the loophole.
Really? What about crack or I mean, I'm looking to try something new right now.
Oh man, how fun would it be to drink right now?
Oh God. I mean, it would be more fun to do major drugs, but I think they would have to throw it at you. I mean, you can't hand it off. They just have to throw it at you and then you throw money back.
Oh, how annoyed are drug dealers right now? All these people phone up and they're like, dude, I'm just trying to keep healthy.
Do you think I think they're making a killing.
Yeah, they're doing very well. They're doing very well. They're most likely very clean.
Mm-hmm.
Or not, who gives a shit? But like, just the idea, like now you drive past like a guy in his 50s, like leaving a deli in the middle of the day with just a fucking bag of whiskey.
I know.
Got no worries for the rest of the day. I mean, sure, he'll probably, beat his wife and throw his gay son out of the house, but besides that, no worries.
Yeah, listen, unfortunately with us, it leads to horrible things.
Yeah.
Like if I got drunk right now, I would probably just like go out with nothing on, like just rub everything all over myself, touch my eyes, I wouldn't give a fuck.
How fast would you get canceled if you went out?
In a second. I'm telling you, because I would do crazy things online.
Crazy shit.
I'd be like, "Go out, motherfuckers! You're all stupid." I would start writing.
Call the girl with one arm from Tiger King the N-word. Makes no sense at all. Like, you don't even use the correct racial slur.
Right. Yeah. I'd like attack a Jewish person, even though I'm Jewish. Like you stupid cheap bastard.
You cheap bastard. My friend, I won't say who, but he called me up and said he's a Jewish guy, and he's like, "Man, I really wish that our Orthodox communities would just fucking follow protocol right now."
I know, it's very upsetting. I don't know what they're doing. What Dan is talking about, which a lot of you know, is like a lot of the Hasidic community.
Yeah.
The ultra Orthodox.
And a lot of Christian ministers too in the South.
Yes.
Been telling people to meet up.
What is wrong? I mean, supposedly people who've met up. I can't speak today.
You're fine.
Supposedly people who have been meeting up, remember that guy died, like the preacher died a couple of weeks ago that organized the whole thing.
Poetic justice, I guess. I don't know.
Maybe we should start like going out for a walk every morning and doing good things for ourselves so that we feel better. I don't know if I'm so open to that. I kind of like being a victim.
I was talking to my therapist about it. I'm like, how do you think I'm holding up? He goes, pretty good, but I'm noticing my more depressed patients have been doing really well during this quarantine.
Really?
Yeah, because our bar is already low enough, so this happening is just validation of a feeling we've had our whole life. Like,
That
yeah, of
makes
course,
sense.
society was meant to shut down, and we were meant to cut each other off. This is how this whole story was supposed to play out.
Right.
It's
That
almost
makes
like
a lot of
comforting.
sense. Well, it's also comforting to know you're not alone. I actually yesterday, I think they listened to the podcast, but a woman contacted me and told me her boyfriend was really depressed, like really depressed, not okay. And I decided to just make him a video. I don't know what came over me because I don't normally do things like that, but I was like, Jessica, fuck it. I was hoping to put energy out there so that I got more cameos coming in. But anyway, so I sent him a video and just said, you're not alone and please reach out for help. And I haven't heard from him. No, I'm joking. He actually...
Just as he gets that, it's just him dropping a toaster into the tub as soon as he gets that message from you. Like, that's what pushes him over.
Yeah, with
You
my
know,
face
you're
on
not
his...
alone.
Yeah, the cops find my face like this on his phone. Just like a
Want to
huge
see my
smile.
characters?
You'll be okay, motherfucker.
I just fucking...
He's like, I can't handle hearing her voice. I'm gonna kill her. But he really was appreciative. Anyway, it made me feel good because I know how depressed people are. I mean, I'm experiencing it. It's
rough.
It's not easy.
If
But I
you're
gotta
by
tell
yourself
you,
right now, it's very rough.
yeah.
Very lucky in that sense.
Have you been talking to a lot of friends, like reaching out to people a lot?
Mostly text, but I've Zoomed. We've Zoomed a couple times, and I don't think my birthday's on May 12th. I don't think I'm going to have a Zoom birthday. I know some people are, but I think that would be a little weird.
Well,
So,
they do the kind of thing. I don't know what would happen for you because you're in the middle of nowhere in Massachusetts. Like maybe just your dad could drive
this is
by.
where like young basketball players get addicted to heroin, where I'm staying.
Oh, that sounds perfect.
It is real dark.
I can't believe you ended up. It's actually fascinating that you ended up there.
It's very pretty, but it's also very haunting. Like, there's a freight train that's right next to us that every night we hear go by for an indeterminate amount of time.
That's depressing. That is really depressing.
And there's horses next to us. It's very bizarre.
Horses?
Yeah.
Oh, so if you ever can't afford food, you're next to livestock. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Do any of them look delicious? Thank you so much to all of my Patreon members for supporting the podcast.
All right, hold up. Could you take a little off the P's? You're hitting them too hard. Not action.
Thank you so much to all of my Patreon members for supporting the podcast.
Hold on. Now you're whispering Patreon. Is there a reason you're whispering?
Well, you said to take the p.
Somewhere in the middle.
Okay.
You ready? Action.
Thank you so much to all of my Patreon member.
Now you got to pause.
For those of you who don't know, Patreon members, is that okay?
It was perfect. Why'd you stop?
Oh, okay. Patreon members.
Cut. Let's go back to the beginning.
Thank you
And action.
Thank you so much to all my Patreon members for supporting the podcast. For those of you who don't know, Patreon members get early access to the podcast, ad-free episodes, and access to monthly live streams where we talk more about...
All right, let's take it back to the beginning. That was perfect. Do it exactly like that.
I just did it well, though,
Except
but why are you
finish it this
starting
time.
over? Thank you so much to all of my patron...
Cut. Why are you screaming?
Because I'm just trying to get through this.
Action.
Thank you so much to all of my...
Action.
Thank you so much to all of my Patreon members. For those of you who don't know, Patreon members get early access to the podcast.
Perfect. Keep going.
There's so many P's.
Keep going. Keep going.
Ad-free episodes.
You could cut this out, right?
For those of you who don't know, Patreon members get early access to the podcast, ad-free episodes, and access to monthly live streams where we talk more about being relatively sane.
Hold up. Did we agree on monthly live streams?
Yes, you told me I should do them because it'll get more members.
I don't know how to do a monthly live stream.
Don't you just talk in your phone?
We'll figure it out. Come on, let's get through this. We have to go. We should
Okay.
speed this up.
All right. Thank you so much to all my Patreon members for supporting this podcast. For those of you who don't know, Patreon members get early access to the podcast, ad-free episodes, and access to monthly live streams. We don't know what that is, but whatever, where we talk about being relatively sane. If you want to join our fantastic community that is so corny, go to patreon.com/Jessica Kirson. That's patreon.com/Jessica Kirson. That's
hold on.
patreon.
I think you said patriot.com.
Go to patreon.com/Jessica Kirson. That's patreon.com/Jessica Kirson. Patreon.com/Jessica Kirson. Thanks again.
And cut. That's a wrap.
Ugh. I think you should go back to, I think you should stay there and write something.
I mean, I've been pitching on Zoom. It's been fucking crazy.
Really? So you're writing ideas and pitching them to networks?
Yeah, I've done that. We did that this week to a couple places.
Are they buying stuff now? Like what?
I guess they are, but you know, we've only heard back from one place so far. I don't know. It's very weird. This is the only podcasts I think are the only thing that have worked.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else has been kind of a hit and a miss.
Yeah, I know. We're all trying to figure it out. Comics and actor, like everybody's just trying to figure it out. I get nervous with the technical stuff. Like when I was setting this up, I couldn't find the link. I couldn't deal with the screen. The name on my thing is wrong. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. And I'm very jealous of people who can do this stuff really well. Because if you can do this really well and edit and do that, it's great.
Yeah.
Because you can do a lot of shit online and it's easier.
Yeah, I'm trying to learn that shit now. Like a guy who helps cut, he edits my videos for Instagram and records my podcast. But I don't fucking know though. But part of me is like, I'm not old, but I've been doing this, long enough that like, do I really want to like keep up with this next stage, whatever this next stage of fucking entertainment is going to be? Like this in between pitching over Zoom and like, it's just so exhausting. Or
it's
like
so exhausting.
Talk merch online now.
I can't do it. I'm trying.
Nobody can afford any of this shit.
It's very hard. And I'm telling you, I feel uncomfortable. I mean, I say it all the time, but I feel uncomfortable putting up things for, I have a Patreon account and a lot of my followers are a little older. They don't even know what that is.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you have a Patreon?
No, we were thinking about it, but we're only getting like, oh, by the way, I have a podcast, Total F and Marks on All Things Comedy Network.
Oh, I'm on All Things Comedy also.
Yeah.
I didn't know you were on there.
Yeah,
What's
we're
it
the
called?
professional wrestling show. So if you like pro wrestling, come listen to me and Scott Chaplin. It's very funny.
Oh, that's great. I love that. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's just we don't have enough because I think like with Patreon, don't you have to get to like a certain number? Like you want to get to 5,000?
No. I mean, I don't think. I don't think there's a limit on how many you need, and I don't really understand the formula. But I have some people who are very supportive. I have one guy. He was like at $8 a month, and he raised it to $20, and then he raised it to $50. It's so nice.
Yeah, I think we're going to do, maybe we'll do a Patreon. You just inspired me.
You know who got in touch with me? The Iron Sheik's nephew, like someone that runs his accounts and stuff. And I didn't even know.
Very funny.
Yeah.
You see that documentary?
No.
Holy shit.
What is it?
It's brutal. It's about his life. He's had a fucking crazy life.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely insane. His daughter was murdered by her boyfriend. And before that, he was the bodyguard for the Shah of Iran and was thrown out when that country had the theocracy. And then he became a pro wrestler under Vergania and, was doing a lot. And then became addicted to crack after his daughter was murdered. He's had a crazy, crazy life.
Wow, I feel so boring now.
Oh, pro wrestlers? Yeah, they're the roughest. They've had the roughest lives of anybody. Pro wrestlers and Kelsey Grammer.
You know,
Sure.
it's funny though. A lot of comics are into pro wrestling. Why
Yeah.
is that? I don't understand.
You get
It's
to
like a
tell
show?
off, someone in a theatrical way.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like, because real fighters who are very good, yeah, every once in a while you get a Muhammad Ali, but a lot of the times it's like, it's like a George St. Pierre or a Khabib where you're just kind of like, this isn't that fun. These guys can destroy anyone, but they don't have the like Ric Flair robe and I don't know. You either like it or you don't,
It seems like it's like going to see like a show and you get into but is it real in any way? Meaning like, do some of them really not like each other or really yeah.
It's like comedy, but sometimes they get into an actual fist fight. I guess comics can get that too, but it's much sadder. Every comedy fight story I've heard is like so pathetic.
It's so pathetic. And they never end up brawling. It's just throwing someone against a wall or threatening them. It's like, get into a fight.
It's a lot of like, hey, man.
Yeah. Or grabbing the shirt. Hey, yeah, if you keep doing that, we're going to go outside. It's like, no, just whack him in the head. Let's get it going here.
Let's get this going. Throw it down.
My mom said something yesterday. She's like, maybe the clubs will open up and everyone will just sit 6 feet apart. I'm like, so there'll be 7 people there? What are you talking about?
I guess that they could run some rooms. I mean, they could run Gotham and the Cellar at half capacity, most likely, if this thing goes. There's other rooms that are much smaller.
Yeah.
I have no idea how they do that and make it worth the while. But
yeah. Like I'm doing a club and I sold 3 tickets. It sold out.
Finally, I can make my bonuses.
Yeah, everyone has to buy 86 drinks.
Everyone's got to buy 86 drinks. Yeah, my 2 gigs in June haven't been canceled, but I took them off my website because I'm like, most likely it's not going to happen.
Yeah. I think we have to start. People are going to get creative and start making money online. Because this thing is going to slow down in a lot of places. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
it's gonna.
I think the next move is that for comedies, a lot of comics are going to be just flying to do road shows and shit.
Yeah.
Also, a lot of comics secretly hate their families. So imagine like being able to like go for a club and then being like, I can't be around you guys for 2 weeks, and then I'll just have to go to my next club.
I know. It's like either I have to spend all my time with mom or risk dying in Georgia. I think I'll risk dying in Georgia. It's not easy. It's not easy. I know people who are around their families a lot, and it's just, we're also used to being away constantly. So that's very hard. People don't realize that. We're away a lot of the time. I mean, I was starting to be, and then this happened.
Yeah, I have no idea. Like I'm hoping one of these ideas sell, because then if not, you're kind of in a position where you have to wait like 6 months before you go back to a buyer. You can't just like get rejected by somebody and then, all right, well, let's go out again next month with this other idea, But I also feel like because everybody's in the same position, it's a little more comforting, I guess.
Yes, it is. I mean, you've done very well as a writer. What's your favorite thing? Like, what's your favorite kind of show to write for? Is it a sitcom or a talk show? Like what? Because you've done so much.
I don't know. I think like the last show I wrote on was really fun. Was this Quibi show, and I don't think that's. I mean, I hope that that's able to get made, but I don't think it's going out of schedule because of everything that's happened. That was just like a dark sketch comedy, which usually is my thing. But this guy Tyler Falbo is awesome. He's like a director. He then made one of my things on the side. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess the pay is way better with a dialogue job, but like you can be a lower level and get more stuff on if it's a late night job.
Yes, I get it.
It's. I mean, like honestly, I the most fun I've ever had was I wrote this feature last year that was a thriller, because everything becomes a job, right? No, like it becomes like when you're doing anything for like 80 hours a week, it becomes annoying.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
Especially sitting around in pajamas at home overeating
And realizing that like maybe possibly in 10,000 years Shakespeare will be remembered. So what does it really matter what you're doing?
That's very true. Have you been eating more? I have
been. I think everybody has been eating more, right?
Some people are eating really well and exercising, and I just want to kill them. Like, it's good. I mean, I get it. It's very good, but
it's good for you. But yeah, I've been eating like a pig.
Me too. I mean, I'll watch them work out online just while I'm eating a sub or a cake. It's just, wow, that's great. And just shoving food in my mouth. That's a great
we just got
stretch.
A scale. It's not good. Like there's no. I'm about 60 pounds overweight.
Really?
Like BMI wise, yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Why don't you break the scale so that you don't even have to go on it? Just break it now. Take the battery. Tell your wife something happened. How's she holding up? Like I mean, you guys
She's
are
still
newly
working
married.
for some of it, so
that's good.
She's doing pretty good, I think. But I think everybody's kind of fucked up though. Everybody's a little, nutty.
What does she do? Is she in our business?
She's in our business. Yeah, she's in casting.
Oh, that's right. Yes, I remember that.
Yeah, she's it's been tough. I think it's just tough to see the same people all the fucking time.
Yeah, it is. That's why maybe if everyone maybe we should all just change our hair or wear costumes. And then it'll be easier.
What would you like to dress in? Like just dress as, not even as a bit, but like this is, like I could see myself being comfortable in this sort of.
Honestly, my hair, a mess over my face, like a crazy quarantine person. Like I just want to be able to own it.
Oh, you mean like just like
yes,
the Dust Bowl kid
stains all over me, like just no bra. I just really just let it go. That's the truth. What would you do? Would you wear like a suit and a top hat?
That seems like a lot of work, but that would be so scary in a quarantine. To like you're in a quarantine with your family, you haven't seen anybody for like 3 weeks, and then I just come in with like a top hat and a cane.
You're like, hello, how you doing?
I start like stealing like vegetables from her garden, putting in my hat.
Yeah. What would you if you could be anyone or dress as anyone? What would you do?
Oh man, I don't know. It always looks kind of fun to be one of those like golfers with the green jacket.
Yeah. I could see that.
You could still be fat and like racist.
You could still be fat. You would kill it if you were a gay man. I'm sure you've heard that before, but you're like a really good-looking bear.
Yeah, I mean, I think about that a lot, but
what, being gay?
How much of a fun time I would have.
You would kill it. I'm telling you right now.
I also think I would die from like 1986 AIDS.
Right, like the real.
Too far over.
You would just go for it.
Yeah, like I'm just identifying as a leather daddy's codpiece now. That's what I am. Just have him strap around his fabulous cock to parties.
It's really unreal. I've talked about this on stage, but I'll do gay cruises, and they have. Well, now I'm never doing one again, but they have. Can you imagine? That would be the last place.
I feel like Pat Robertson's next sermon is going to be about that.
You shall not go on a gay cruise.
What's a gay cruise like?
It's the most fun I've ever had. I mean, they have the best DJs, the best lighting, the best laser shows. It's crazy. They have theme parties. They have like a leather party. It's fucking hot. I have to tell you.
Is there a lot of sex? A lot of gay sex? A lot.
There's a lot of just, touching. Like it's really, because there's no, I mean, a lot of them are in couples and don't do that. But then there's like they have an area where they fool around. There's a sex deck. It's really intense.
Wings.
Yes.
Did you go to the sex deck? Did you swing?
Well, I did. I didn't go to get any. Well, what happened was I said to my friend, I have to see what's going on. So I'm going to have to, it's very dark. Of course, it's in a very dark area. Yeah. So I remember walking up there and I said to my friend, what do I do if
the
someone...
salsa bar first.
It's like on deck 34. And so it's just, you hear the music like downstairs, like the floor is, and then I said, what do I do if to my friend, and he said, you should just tell everyone you're a bear. And I cracked up because I could pass as a bear.
What was going on down there? Just full on sex?
Well, yeah, some people, but there's a lot of like jerking off people and just in like groups in the corner. And then it's just, they go back to the party and it's no big deal. And I'm like, men would kill for this. Like straight men would kill to just do that and then go back. Can you imagine? You just leave the dance floor, go get some, then go back and you're just dancing like nothing. You don't have some woman chasing you like, call me. There's no.
Yeah, I've always debated whether or not going to a sex club would be fun. I mean, I've gone to plenty of strip clubs, but.
I went once. This is hilarious. I went when I started comedy.
Wait, not on the cruise?
No, I went in New York City to a dungeon with.
Rick, this was actually on a tugboat. It was next to the cruise.
Yeah.
Can I get in the sex cruise? Well, no, we have a sex tugboat for you.
This was on my Aunt Sheila's yacht. No, I'm joking. No, I went to comics. I went with 10 comics, which was not a smart thing because we couldn't breathe laughing. We were like open micers, and my friend's like,
"Oh, the worst way to go."
I know, but we were high and drunk. She's like, "Come to this party," and we went, and I could not believe what was going on. I could not. There were women Jello wrestling. There was a guy getting hammered. This old man was completely naked up against a wall with his hands, just completely naked. And she was whipping him. And I'm like, this is intense. Like, it was a lot for me. And I'm pretty open. But then there was this guy who was completely naked on the floor with a collar. I can't even, it sounds like I'm making this up, but it's totally true. With a collar and a leash. And I, of course, wanted everyone to laugh and like me. So I grabbed the leash and I was walking around with him. And his name was Animal. This is totally true. And I was like, come on, let's go. Like just screaming it.
He was just walking? You were just walking?
I grabbed the leash and just walked around the party, and he was on his hands and knees on the floor, completely naked.
What weird.
It was so weird.
So do you then jerk off to the thought of you being walked around later?
Yeah, I guess he wants to, yes. I guess so. Like, it's exciting for him to be so demeaned or something. But the hot thing, which I found hot.
You never hear about stand-up comics having to do that because we've been demeaned so many times.
Yes, that's true.
I don't need some girl to tell me I'm a piece of shit. You saw me eat shit at McGuire's in 2011.
And we talk to ourselves that way constantly anyway. I mean, I abuse myself. So it's not, if someone's like, you fat, you suck, I'm like, okay, I just said that to myself this morning.
Yeah, so you were saying? Sorry.
No, it's okay. They have different rooms. That was the hot thing. They had like a medical room and like those kind of rooms where you could rent out the room with someone and you could act out a whole thing.
Look, I'm not here to fuck. I just need to get some face masks for my family.
I think I have a cyst on my ovary.
Baby, do you want to fuck in the medical room? I guess I have a more, like a less hot.
I think I have a rash, so let's just go in there and like check it out. It feels really itchy.
Yeah, right when I'm done with the Boys and Girls Club theme room, then I'll.
You imagine? Yeah, I want to go to a room that's a grocery store. What would be your room that you'd want to go in? Like, would anything turn you on? Like a school setting?
A beanbag chair I could shit in? I don't know. I've had so much antidepressants at this point. It's like...
I Me too. Like nothing would excite.
This shit has been ravaged so much. It's like the end of Watership Down is going on.
You could put a lighter to my vagina and I wouldn't feel
Like my dick right now would be like a bunch of villagers surrounding it with a stick and being like, "It's dead. Make sure it's dead.
You could
Apply the ointment."
I'm serious. You could roast marshmallows on mine, and I would not. I'd be like, "Is someone down there?" Like it doesn't. I have no
feeling at all.
But
Yeah.
is there any kind of room if you did have sexual feelings?
I don't know. Guys we're so much more simple. Where it's like, I don't know what room has two chicks at the same time. Like any room. So.
That's hilarious.
It's just so like I don't get that or even it's like even somebody who's like, yeah, like I'd run at 3 girls at the same time and be like, well, that's a lot. Like,
were you ever in a threesome?
Yes.
Me too. I was so bored. I got so confused that I was in a hotel room with 2 beds and I went in the other bed and watched TV. I'm like, you guys can finish because this is so confusing. There's like 4 breasts, 2 I don't know what is going on. I can't.
Have you guys seen Angel Has Fallen? I'm gonna watch Angel Has Fallen.
I'm gonna put on Schindler's List. Have fun.
The scene in Moonlight where they beat him for being gay. I'm gonna watch that.
Right, it's homophobic shit.
You guys tongue fuck each other at this Ramada.
Yeah, I was in like a Ramada. And then I got in. One of them was a girl I was seeing, and then I got in trouble for things I did. I'm like, you can't do that. You can't.
Oh, you can.
No, I mean literally for weeks she didn't talk to me. I'm like, I had no idea I wasn't allowed to bash your head into a wall.
I didn't know I couldn't in the middle of cunnilingus use your credit card to charge $3,000 worth of stereo equipment. I had no idea. I thought anything goes in a threesome.
Oh God!
You're in
yeah.
the middle of it, they're fucking, and you're making like ISIS training videos.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah. It's really. I'm looking at videos of like pimple popping and.
That's what my wife does to relax. She watches a lot of those videos.
I don't understand that. I don't. Well, I get it with people that you love, but watching strangers do it, I don't really understand. What would you watch to relax?
I just like. Do you like watching all that? But do you ever go on like the live leak or watch any of that gore stuff?
I have done that.
I feel like the reason I've done that is like to almost desensitize myself about the shit that's going to come. It's like, well, if I've already seen a cartel kill an entire...
I have watched that stuff, and I don't know what made me do it. But I've seen people be beheaded. Like I've seen...
I think it's about control.
Yeah. I agree with you. Maybe I'll make some today after this podcast with my family.
Oh, this is the beginning of a Dateline.
Yes. I'm so glad that you did this with me, Dan, because I love seeing you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're adorable, and things are going to be okay. I hope so. No, they're going to be okay.
Just as you say that, like a SWAT team enters my room.
Yeah, I just get shot in the head. Things are. And I want you to tell people again where they can the podcast and where they can follow you.
It's on All Things Comedy, which probably doesn't mean anything. So just Google Toll F and Marks or put that in your iTunes search, subscribe, rate, blah blah blah. I got my albums on my website at danstgermain.net. Trying to hawk stuff during a plague.
No, you should listen to Dan, and you should download his stuff because he is hysterical. You really are. You're hysterical and a brilliant writer.
Hilarious.
Thank you so much.
You are.
I don't even know what I would say on stage if I got on stage.
I don't even know. That's the thing too. It's like, are we going to just? I mean, clearly none of our new stuff. I mean, there's going to be a couple new bits that'll work. But a lot of the new stuff's not going to work just yet. So you're going to have to do some old stuff.
And right.
Is the old stuff even going to even gonna work now? Like anybody's old stuff?
I think we'll be okay. I think people who are in like within 5 years and stuff like that are going to have a very hard time. That's what Bonnie McFarlane and I were talking about that today. I think those people, it's going to be tough if you're not seasoned to just get up there and do it again.
Yeah, absolutely. And there'll probably be less opportunities now too.
Yes, right. Because Chris Rocker is going to take our gigs, and then we're going to take Joe Schmo's gigs, who just
I'm gonna be fucking running shows out of the Grizzly Pear, 4 shows a night.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to take whatever we can and be.
Hello?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Jessica.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Oh, that's weird. Okay, I don't know how that happened. This is part of the whole thing. We have to just
Vivian.
let it go. Oh, God help me. Listen, Joe, you've been amazing.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so grateful. I love you. Take care of yourself.
All right, take care.
And
Have a
I will
good day.
talk to you soon.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Bye.